The cost of labor in China has increased over the last few years. Certain Chinese industrial cities have seen an economic downturn as a result of this. Investors have sequentially relocated their industries to Vietnam in an effort to prevent losses. The economy of Vietnam is expanding quickly, whereas industrial areas in China's Guangdong region are seeing steadily declining economic output. We learned that China is investing $1.4 billion to construct 2 giant bridges over the sea in an effort to resolve this conundrum. Vietnam should be shocked by this. Before we go on, subscribe to Cha News to watch about the most amazing world projects. Ready? Let's go on. Guangdong is a coastal province in China. While the coastline of Guangdong province is not particularly large, it is incredibly long, 1,595 kilometers, or the distance between Charlotte and Augusta, USA. Second, it is challenging to travel between Guangdong province's cities due to the abundance of bays in its coastal regions. The bay prevents inhabitants on both sides of the water from communicating with one another. For instance, if people wish to go more than 30 kilometers, they must make a detour of more than 300 kilometers around the Taiwan Strait. That will take 12 hours as well. The growth of Guangdong province has been hampered by difficult transportation and investor migration. The Chinese government realized after several discussions that the building of a cross bridge is of great significance to urban development in order to not fall behind the rest of the world in terms of its own development. This is because it can both speed up the region's economic growth and support social development. In order to develop the Longmen Bridge and Thyssen Port Cross Bridge, the province planned to invest $900 million. The Longmen Bridge is not only the first kilometer Class C crossing suspension bridge in Guangdong province, but also the longest sea crossing bridge in Gansu province. Longmen Bridge is estimated to have cost $800 million in total. It begins in the Chinese city of Qinzhou. Its terminus is in the vicinity of the Qinzhou port across the Mouth Sea. 2 174-meter-tall main towers are also part of the bridge. The path of the bridge is around 7.7 kilometers long overall, with the bridge itself being over 6,600 meters. Also, the Long Menai Bridge's main canal has a unique design that can accommodate 20,000-ton cruise ships' navigational needs. As a result, China now has a second channel that can accommodate the navigable paths of substantial cruise ships. The Titan Port Sea Crossing Bridge, which connects China's Guangdong and Guangxi regions, is another sea crossing bridge. After the new bridge on the right side is finished, the traffic can be redirected by asking for information. The sea crossing bridge is being enlarged on the right side of an existing bridge. We discovered that the bridge's primary path is around 7 kilometers long, with the bridge itself being about 6.6 kilometers long. The project's entire investment is $600 million, and the approach road is around 0.5 kilometers long. These 2 sea crossing bridges may seem unremarkable to you. Why, therefore, did it surprise Vietnam? Vietnam has improved infrastructure building in recent years in an effort to catch up to China. Yet, building a lot of infrastructure costs a lot of money. Vietnam's economy is still expanding. Therefore, raising money for any infrastructure project takes a long time. China, which has the second largest economy in the world. The remaining monies necessary for infrastructure development are all direct appropriations, provided the project in question does not involve a large-scale undertaking costing hundreds of billions of dollars. Second, whereas China's infrastructure is quite strong, Vietnam's infrastructure is relatively weak, and many infrastructure projects there rely on foreign help. For instance, China just needs 4 years to finish the Longmen Bridge, a project that is built across water. It is clear that China's superior infrastructural technology and powerful financial resources astounded Vietnam. As was already noted, investors started to relocate to Vietnam as a result of rising salaries, which had a negative impact on Guangdong province's economy. How then did these 2 cross-sea bridges preserve Guangdong province's economy? The construction of the cross bridge will, first and foremost, improve the traffic condition in Guangxi province. According to our research, motorbikes are the most practical form of transportation in China's Guangdong region. Motorcycles, however, make it difficult for locals to move far. The easiest way for individuals to go to another city is via plane. Flying, however, is a burden for visitors because they must pass through several transfer points. On the road, it takes a long time. In addition, airfare in China is typically highly costly. Nonetheless, the distance between the two locations will be reduced by more than 20 kilometers if the crossing bridge is completed. Residents will reduce the initial 90 minutes to 25 minutes by traveling from China Airport to the event district. Also, the construction of the crossing bridge has made it possible for the Pearl River Delta in Guangdong to be completely connected to the southwest area of China. This implies that the province of Guangdong will establish connection with these developers. Cities in China and the two locations may intensify their interactions and collaboration and work together to further the conversion of resource advantages. For instance, the Yangtze River Delta area of China's economy started to grow quickly with the opening of the Hangzhou Bay Bridge in 2008. In terms of urban development, the South Bank's average annual GDP growth surpassed 15%, transforming it from a tidal flat to a gold coast with industries worth hundreds of billions of dollars. It is extremely important that these two sea crossing bridges are built. He established communication between the majority of the province of Guangdong cities, further solidifying their economic links. Information technology, businesses, and goods move freely throughout the area, promoting urban economic integration. These factors then progressively spread to neighboring cities, accelerating the modernization of each city and ultimately promoting balanced regional growth. Using the tourist sector as an illustration, travel buses have gained popularity since the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macao Bridge opened to traffic over the sea. During the holidays, vacationers from all over the world drive between Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau. As a result, the tourism service sector on both sides of the Taiwan Strait has ushered in new growth prospects, driving the prosperity of the catering and hotel industries. Most significantly, the cross bridge has reduced the travel time by land between the Guangxi coastal cities and the Pearl River Delta. It has encouraged the swift growth of logistics, trade, and transportation in southwest China and the Guangdong Pearl River Delta. For instance, a one-hour living circle was established in China's Greater Bay Area after the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macao cross was put into operation in 2018. In addition to saving 80% on transportation expenses, Zhuhai's yearly show generated a record $2 billion, or more than 5% of the nation's GDP. Recent years have seen a marked improvement in the regional economy. In a crucial province, China has been encouraging industrial structural changes. It is unfortunate that there has been no change in the percentage of secondary industry in Guangdong province's industrial structure. In the majority of a province's cities, the percentage of industry is more than 40%, more than the national average. The percentage of tertiary industry is more than 10% lower than that of the Pearl River Delta. Also, the economic system is flawed. China's Guangdong and Guangxi provinces, along with other economic zones, will be combined to create a vast business network after the construction of these two sea crossing bridges. Guangdong province may then more easily conduct business with East Asian markets including Russia, North Korea, South Korea, and Japan by relying on the well-connected local economy. By doing this, the degree of opening up to the outside world may be increased, and the industrial structure's upgrading and optimization can be encouraged. Last but not least, I'd want to know what my friends think of these two Chinese crossings. Click on these video to watch about the most shocking China's project.